So glad to be here, everyone. I'm Jeremy Blubaugh. I'm the CEO and owner of CoinFlip Marketing. I'm going to start off by saying we now live in a world of too much, too much data, too much information, and you could probably argue too much misinformation, depending on where you live at out there in today's world. Uh, Too much digital, and probably my Achilles heel, too much distraction. Thank you, Steve Jobs and the iPhone. It distracts me like crazy. I have to put it away. But why we exist at CoinFlip Marketing, and we believe the best way to cut through this noise, through this too much, is you need to build solid relationships. And we believe the best way to build solid relationships, whether with it's your existing clients or your most coveted prospects, is you need to implement personalization. Now, I'm not talking about just any type of personalization. I'm not talking about the days of past where you mail merge a client's name and maybe their company name into an email outreach, send a generic LinkedIn request, maybe sending out a kind of basic happy birthday card. Those are all nice little touches. But today is going to be a little more talking about how do you take those touches next level by implementing personalization. Before I get into my slides, I want to go all the way back to 1952. And you're probably asking, why 1952? Well, back in 1952, a comic near and dear to my heart, Charlie Brown, is where I want to start the story of my presentation or my slides. And this is not the year that Charlie Brown was actually introduced to the world. That was 2 years prior, in 1950. In 1952 was the year that Charlie Brown and Lucy became famous with the football skit. Now, if you're not familiar with the football skit, it's where Charlie Brown would line up like he's kicking a field goal. Lucy would hold the ball, and Charlie Brown would run up. And sure enough, what would Lucy do? She'd pull the ball up, Charlie Brown would smack, run on his back, Lucy would laugh, and it was all in fun. A nice little practical prank on her friend. Well, the reason why I tell this story is Charlie Brown not only fell for this once, he fell for it 47 additional times. From 1952 to 1999, they showed this clip or this scene 47 times. To everyone listening, this is Albert Einstein's true definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Charlie Brown simply thought Lucy would hold that football. She never did, and every single time, flat on his back. Now, my next slides I come up here in a second, for those who might be experiencing some insanity, saying, hey, you know what? My emails, like Kim might be talking about from an earlier presentation, just aren't getting the responses that I would like. Well, maybe some personalization might help those emails. Or my outreach to my best clients, those happy birthday cards or those happy birthday gifts or whatever you're sending to your clients to say thank you, happy birthday, happy anniversary, just aren't getting the responses that you thought. It might be time to implement CoinFlip personalization. Or let's say you manage a team of people who do outreach like this. Think of a sales manager who runs a desk or whatever case may be, and you're not getting the results based off of what you're teaching. It might be time to implement some CoinFlip personalization. So first slide, our motto here at CoinFlip Marketing is called Flip the Odds in Your Favor. I named CoinFlip Marketing back in 2016. I came up with the name. Didn't take my company live until 2019. I simply called it CoinFlip Marketing because when we implement strategies for our best clients, we want to give you odds better than a coin flip. Heads, tails, 50%. We want to be better than 50%. We think if you're going to outreach to your best potential clients or your best potential prospects, we want to give you those odds and flip those odds in your favor. Well, my first bullet point there, marketing and prospecting is not a game of chance. Sometimes the best way to have a chance is to make a change. In Kim's 7 steps earlier, she talked a lot about some of these little steps that you can make to simply just make a change to give yourself a chance. We're going to talk about some changes, simply going left when everybody else is going right from digital to really give yourself a chance when it comes to all and out, really kind of beat your competition out there. Second, implementing the art personalization can magnify what we call your return on relationship. Think of those best clients you have in your book of business. Kim talked about referrals and a few other people talked about earlier today. Referrals are the best way to get an introduction to someone. Well, how do you get those referrals? We believe really kind of focusing in on your best clients, knowing things about them, and leveraging that data so you simply can maximize your return on relationship. And last, be different, stand out. No one remembers the ordinary. Uh, One of my favorite people to follow right now is the owner of the Savannah Bananas. If you haven't followed them, check it out. Savannah Bananas on LinkedIn. This guy wears a yellow suit. It's changed the way that things are done. He simply said, "I'm going to be different," and he simply turned that, I think it's less than single A baseball team, around simply to a juggernaut to be dealt with that everybody wants to get tickets to. Being different can help you stand out. And if you implement personalization, you can really move the needle. So why does personalization work? I put 4 bullet points up there. I'm going to talk a little more about the looking glass self here in a second. So imagine if I were to show you a picture, and it's a picture of a baseball game. And within that picture, let's say there's 35,000 people maybe looking down from a blimp. And I were to say, you know what, Simon, you're in that picture. Well, what is the person most likely Simon going to do? Well, Simon is going to look for himself. This is why we believe when we implement personalization, you want to use pictures. Pictures are powerful. People love to see how the world views them. And when you use pictures and say, hey, Simon, you're the world's greatest dad, or Simon, world's greatest, whatever the case may be, and say, this is what I know about you, or this is what I found out about you, once again, can take those outreaches or your relationships to the next level. The second bullet point there, to quote one of my favorite people, Dale Carnegie, a person's name to that person, or excuse me, person's name to that person is the sweetest, most important sound in any language. When you use people's names in fun, unique ways, people tend to respond in a very positive way. One example I can share with you later here, if you're interested, we love to do a lot of photoshopping here at CoinFlip Marketing for our clients. People love to see their names. Example, let's say I, Jeremy Blubaugh, am a huge St. Louis Cardinals fan, which I am, and I'll explain in a second. I would love to get a card in the mail that had a picture of my name with Jeremy Blubaugh on the St. Louis Cardinals baseball jumbotron. Huge effect. I'm going to respond to that. You did the research, you used my name. I love to see that. The last two, it shows that you care and it shows that you're different. And what I didn't put on there, which I think I want to talk a few seconds about, is the most important. It shows when you use personalization that the client or that prospect, it means so much more to you as your business than to the bottom line. It shows that you care, shows that you're different, and shows that you're so much more to them to the bottom line. It truly separates you, from all the other typical outreaches, typical things that they get. Take a step back. When's the last time that you got something that was very highly personalized? My guess is you responded, and you responded in a very positive manner. You probably showed a bunch of people. You probably talked about it. You might maybe even actually posted on social media. Here at CoinFlip Marketing, those are the types of effects that we want to implement when we implement personalization. So what are the categories you should be focusing on when it comes to personalization? This is a piece I can send as follow-up to anybody listening. Just shoot me an email and I'll provide it at the end of the day. There's the word of personalization. There's 8 different things that we really want to focus on when it comes to knowing our clients. And on the back of this piece, which I put on here, is actually a box where you can actually document everything you know about your clients so that you can leverage this information to your advantage. So pets, one of my favorite outreaches to talk about. People love their pets. Heck, some people love their pets more than their kids. I know these people. They exist. When you talk about their furry friends and leverage that and talk about it with them, it puts you on a pedestal above any other type of personalization or outreach or communication that they've ever received. Hobbies on there are probably the next big one that you really want to focus on. People are very passionate about their hobbies, whether it be gardening, knitting, baseball card collecting. Whatever their hobbies are, the more you know about it, the more you can ask questions about it, the more you can personalize how you deliver what you want to deliver to that individual. Once again, it can take your outreach to another level. And the last I'll go on there, I would say, is probably sports teams or vacation habits. and kind of the third, the ones you really need to leverage. Once again, people love their sports teams. I'm putting together a proposal right now for a client who's fanatic about the Yankees. So we're going to leverage that information. Use photoshopping with the Yankees, use Yankee stadiums, use a Yankee gift, create a Yankee card that really is specific to them. So you can obviously get the best response possible. So what is our definition of personalization when we talk about those? Well, number one, I mentioned it earlier. You want to use pictures whenever possible. And there's some tools out there I'll introduce you at the end that you could actually put in to actually Photoshop a person's picture fairly easy. It's called photofunia.com. The one on the left here with my picture actually shows you how to actually put that picture in there and have a dramatic effect. What's interesting about that picture, though, what I recommend, once I said, when you go left, everybody should go right. We do the opposite. When everybody goes right, we go left. I'm a big believer taking a picture like that and put it into a card can have the biggest impact via US mail when it comes to personalizing your outreach. Second, using information to your advantage. So I don't know about you guys, but it's 2022. There's this thing called the World Wide Web that you can find a lot of information about people. So whether you're prospecting or it's your current clients, you can leverage this data to your advantage. So if you were to probably do a quick Google research or search on me, check out my LinkedIn profile, you're probably going to find out that I love the St. Louis Cardinals. That's a picture of Busch Stadium where the Cardinals play. That's my favorite player all time, Ozzie Smith. You could find that out and you could use that to get my attention out there. What's great though with this World Wide Web, people might say might be creepy, it's weird. Well, I put this data out there. I want people to know it. I want people to leverage this data when reaching out to me. Here's the other side of it. If it's your current client and they've been clients for 10 plus years and you happen to go on their Facebook page, the client's not going to think it's creepy that, hey, I knew you're the St. Louis Cardinals fan. Jeremy probably just took notes of me over the last 10 years that he knew I was a St. Louis Cardinals fan and leverage that data. Third, always tailor the message to each individual. For those who tuned in earlier, Alan showed a picture of the Coach K note. That's exactly the type of outreach that you want to have, the type of impact you can have, not only when you tailor the picture on the card, but you tailor the note, has dramatic effect. Third, which I didn't put on here, fourth, I didn't put on here, if you really want to have a dramatic impact, take kind of personalization to the whole next level. It's going to cost a little bit more. You do a card, personalized message, and a personalized gift. Can take it all to the next level. So what I like to talk about the gifting, and this gets into the point, if you truly want to elevate your outreach, especially from a prospecting standpoint, you need to implement these three things. And I call it USP gift giving or USP strategy. And that's unique, surprised, and personalized. And why I do that on here and talk about it, you can see there is my name. I'm a golfer too. Right there, if you're a golfer, that's the Masters leaderboard. That's my name on top. That's my name on the top left. Looks like I'm having a heck of a round on -5 through 5 holes. This is the type of personalization that we're talking about. The great thing, you can reach out to me. We have a ton of templates that you can kind of get yourself cut into. I would love to share those with you. Have a conversation on how you do this stuff for your clients. So talk about the typical cold outreaches. I have on there cold emails. The average person now receives 146 per day. That's the average person. The people that you're reaching out to, busy executives, busy business owners, are probably receiving 250 to 300 emails a day. To stick out, to get their attention, you have to be different. And doing things like this, photoshopping names, using pictures, can get their attention way faster and help you build a relationship quicker than typically how you've done it before in the past. Cold calls. I'm a big believer cold calling's dead. You can challenge me all day with that. And the reason why I say that, I have a cell phone. I'm not picking up if it's a number I don't know from. Everyone I talk to is pretty much the same way. Not saying it can't work. It's not going to work on me, but personalizing your outreach to that person, like we're talking about now, can break through that noise. So when you implement unique, surprised, and personalized, what we have found, you can get odds greater than 50% down there in the bottom in green with your most coveted prospects. Think about the people that are impossible to get a hold of, impossible to talk to, impossible to respond to your email. This type of strategy will get their attention, that gets you have those conversations that you want to have with your most coveted prospects. So what if you don't have pictures? What if you can't find anything about them? Well, there's ways that you can leverage that. For a client, we just did actually a March Madness mailer that time of year. We used names. We were able to find where they went to college through the database that they had. But you can see there, did a March Madness, and we leveraged where they went to college. Not personalized like using pictures, but we are personalizing it based off of their name and where they went to school. Second, same client, we actually put together a master's card. There's a great company called dreamstime.com that you can actually purchase photos like this one from the masters and actually edit it and use it within your business. You can't resell it, but you can actually use it to send to your clients. So what we did with this client is we created a master's card, bought a beautiful looking master's koozie for $15. He sent it out to 30 best clients. They should be hitting on Monday, possibly Tuesday before the Masters. Can't wait to see the type of responses you get. Once again, this is going to be an outreach that these clients have never seen before. Last, and before I kind of close it down here, here's a quick summary. If you say, Jeremy, this is all great, how do I implement this type of personalization? Well, first, feel free to reach out to me. I'm going to share my email here in a second, my contact information. But on the left are some tools to actually use to send cards, whether you want to create them yourself or automate them. So sendoutcards.com is a great website to create your own personalized cards and send them out. And for $1 a month or $1 a day, excuse me, you can send one card a day. Phenomenal. You can't even go to Walmart now or Walgreens and get a card for $5. You can send a highly personalized card for $1 through Send Out Cards on one a day. Thanks.io is a great tool to leverage automation, but personalization as well. You can actually do those March Madness cards or that Masters card I just showed you a few seconds ago and actually automate that. And with the click of a button, using your CRM and connecting those tools, send out a bunch of cards to your favorite basketball fans and your favorite golfers. Canva.com, I believe Kim talked about this as well. Canva is an unbelievable tool for those who aren't creative to kind of just scour their kind of website to find some ideas to personalize. One of the tools I love to use in there is magazine covers. I love to Photoshop people's faces onto magazine covers and change the name of the magazine. So if it's a financial advisor, I'll Photoshop their name or their face and put on top Finance Magazine. Or let's say if they're a baseball card collector, I'll put Baseball Card Magazine. Great tool. All you have to do is have a picture and be able to obviously click on your mouse and change names and things of those nature. Very quick and easy tool to use. And I mentioned it earlier in our comments, photofunia.com is a great tool to get some newspapers that you can Photoshop, street signs, New York Times Squares, bulletin boards, whatever you want to use. It's in there. I think they got 750 different templates to use to actually kind of implement personalization very fast. Once again, all you need is a picture saved. You load the picture up, poof, click download, and you have a personalized picture that you can use to send to your best clients or your most coveted prospects. And then if you want to up it a lot and say, hey, I want to get that response rate north of 50%, the best places to actually buy some personalized gifts are Etsy, Zazzle, and Personalization Mall. All great websites. You can pretty much personalize anything you could possibly think of within those websites. Last, as you can tell on the right there, I have a little bit of sense of humor. We don't always implement personalization. Just kidding, we always do. We're big believers here. As hope you can tell through my comments and what we showed you. We're very, very passionate about this. On the left there is my contact information. You can find me on LinkedIn when you just type in Jeremy Blubaugh or CoinFlip Marketing. Down there in the bottom, it might be hard to see, is my phone number. Feel free to text me. It's 574-360-3431. We work with clients in two ways. And I'll leave you with that, and we'll turn it back over to Simon or Colin. Number one, where we do most of our work, a lot of people come in and say, Jeremy, this is all great. I love what I just saw. I would love to do that with my client base. I just don't have the time. We actually do the work for you. You provide us the list of the people you want to wow, people that you want to do some USP gift giving, and we put together the packages for you and send them on your behalf. The other tool that we have is we do some consulting. We set up 3 one-hour calls and actually sit down with you and walk step by step on what to do, how to implement the tools, and help you implement personalization that gets you results. So that's what I have for today, Simon. Colin, thank you so much for having me. If you are interested about personalization, please feel free to reach out. Love to help in any capacity possible.